When the fighting began, families were torn apart in hours. Brother from brother, mother from child. They thought it would be temporary. Today, 75 years later, Kim Bong-hwan, age 105, still waits for news from his siblings in North Korea. 134,291 South Koreans registered to find their families. 97,350 have died waiting. That means 72% died without ever saying goodbye. This isn't just history. This is happening right now. In villages you can see from space, along the world's most heavily fortified border, grandmothers are dying with photographs clutched in their hands. Today, we enter the DMZ, not as tourists, but as witnesses to the world's longest-running family tragedy. Because what you're about to see will move you deeply. The date, June 25th, 1950. The place, peaceful villages near the 38th parallel. These soldiers you see marching, they thought the war would be over by Christmas. The families, waving goodbye, believed their sons would return for harvest season. But look at their faces. These young men had no idea they were about to divide a nation forever. Every step they took was creating a wound that would never heal. In village after village, families made impossible choices. Stay and risk death, or flee and leave everything behind. Park Sunja was 19 when she fled south with her baby. She left her parents, thinking she'd return in weeks. She's 94 now. Her parents died 40 years ago. She found out last month. This is her story. This is all their stories. Today, the closest you can get to North Korea is Daeseongdong, a village inside the DMZ with just 138 residents, mostly elderly. Here's what makes this village heartbreaking. These people stayed. While millions fled, they remained in their ancestral homes, hoping their families would return. Every morning, 90-year-old Lee Mal-soon tends her garden. She plants the same vegetables her mother grew, hoping one day her sister from the north will taste them again. I keep my mother's recipes alive, she tells me, tears in her eyes. When my sister comes home, everything will be exactly as she left it. But her sister never calls. There are no letters, no emails, no way to know if she's even alive. This is the cruelest part, not knowing, not the death, but the not knowing. Let me tell you numbers that will stay with you. 134,291 South Koreans registered to find their separated families since 1988. 97,350 have died waiting. Only 35,311 are still alive. Most are over 80 years old. That means every day, 6 more people die without answers. But here's the number that will deeply impact you. Since 2000, only 24,000 people have been reunited, out of 134,291 who applied. The math is simple and cruel. You have a better chance of winning the lottery than seeing your brother again. In 2025, North Korea demolished the Mount Kumgang Reunion Center, the only place where meetings could happen. The message was clear. No more hope. No more reunions. No more mercy. Kim Bong-hwan is 105 years old. He is dying. When the unification minister visited him last month, Kim made one final request. Please just tell me if my brothers are alive or dead. I don't need to see them. I just need to know. This is what 75 years of separation does to the human spirit. It breaks you down to the most basic human need: knowledge. Not reunion, not hugs, just knowledge. Did my mother die thinking I abandoned her? 85-year-old grandmother Choi asked me. I dream about her calling my name. In my dreams, I run to her, but I never reach her. These aren't just old people with sad stories. Those are living monuments to the price of division, walking reminders of what happens when politics becomes more important than family. And they're dying. 6 every day. Gone forever. In Imjingok Park, there's a place that will deeply impact you. It's called the Wishing Tree, covered with ribbons and notes from separated families. Mom, I'm sorry I left you. Written by a 90-year-old man. Brother, I kept your favorite rice bowl. Come home. Written by an 85-year-old woman. I named my son after you. I hope you see him one day. Written by a grandmother who hasn't seen her father in 70 years. Every Lunar New Year, thousands gather here. They bow toward North Korea. They pour traditional rice wine on the ground. They set places at tables for family members who will never come. It's the most touching dinner party in the world. Chairs for ghosts. Food for memories. You see these massive flagpoles in the DMZ? They're monuments to pettiness. South Korea built a 100-meter flagpole. North Korea responded with a 160-meter one. Back and forth, higher and higher, like children arguing while their grandparents die of loneliness. For decades, both sides used loudspeakers to blast propaganda across the border. South Korea played K-pop. North Korea played military marches. But separated families didn't care about politics. They just hoped to hear their loved ones' voices somehow carried on the wind. Sometimes I'd go to the border fence. 82-year-old Park tells me. I'd shout my brother's name toward the north. I knew he couldn't hear me, but maybe the mountains would carry my voice to him. The cruelest irony? The technology exists to connect them. Satellite phones, internet, video calls. But politics says no. Politics always says no. February 2025. North Korea begins demolishing the Mount Kumgang Reunion Center. This wasn't just destroying a building. This was destroying hope itself. For 17 years, this was the only place where separated families could meet. Heavily guarded, time-limited meetings where grandmothers could hold grandchildren they'd never seen. The reunions lasted 3 days. Families had 75 years to catch up in 72 hours. They couldn't exchange phone numbers. No letters afterward. No way to stay in touch. And now, even that is gone. The message from North Korea was clear. We don't want reunification. We don't even want the idea of reunification. These families can die apart. When the bulldozers came, 92-year-old Lee Gyum-soon was watching the news. "They're burying my hope alive," she whispered. She died 3 weeks later. Let me tell you about the children. During the war, parents made desperate choices. "Take the baby south," they said. "We'll follow later." But later never came. Today, these babies are 75 years old. They've lived entire lives not knowing their real names, their family history, their homeland. Kim Sung-ja was adopted by American soldiers. She grew up in Ohio. For 70 years, she didn't know she had 6 brothers in North Korea. Through DNA testing, she found them last year. but she can't reach them. They're 30 miles away, but might as well be on Mars. I dream in Korean sometimes, she tells me. Words I don't remember learning. My mother's voice calling me home. But I don't even know what home looks like anymore. Time is running out. Every day, 6 more separated family members die. By 2030, they'll all be gone. Every single one. The youngest separated family member is 73. The oldest, like Kim Bong-hwan, is 105. Soon, this tragedy will end, not through reunion, but through death. Is this how it ends? After 75 years of waiting, does everyone just die? South Korean President Lee Jae-myung made one final plea in October 2025. Let them see each other before it's too late. This isn't about politics. This is about humanity. But North Korea's response was silence. Always silence. The cruelest truth. The technology to connect them exists in our pockets. Video calls, instant messages, photos. But politics keeps families apart while the whole world watches. Today, 35,311 elderly Koreans are still waiting, still hoping, still believing that tomorrow might bring news. They gather at the DMZ border fence. They leave letters tied to balloons. They whisper names into the wind. But tomorrow never comes. It's always tomorrow. Kim Bong-hwan may not live to see another winter. Park Soon-ja falls asleep every night wondering if her parents forgave her for leaving. Lee Mal-soon still sets 2 plates of dinner. One for herself, one for the sister who will never come home. This is the price of division. This is what happens when borders become more important than blood. In a world where you can video call someone on the other side of the planet, 35,311 people are dying without knowing if their family is alive. This isn't just Korea's tragedy. This is humanity's failure. As we leave the DMZ, remember their faces, remember their names, remember that love doesn't respect borders, but politics always does. And somewhere across that fence, in villages we'll never see, other grandmothers are waiting too.